Hello, 7th graders. Today our notes are going to be short and sweet. We're starting off chapter 11 and we're looking at numbers. We're going to compare numbers. We use numbers every day and we use numbers that we're going to call negative numbers. Negative numbers we use when we talk about temperature. It's wintertime, temperature is below 0. We know it's really cold and we need to get our winter coats on. Or if we're living by the sea and we're talking about below sea level, we're going to use numbers that have a negative number. In math, a number less than 0 are what we call a negative number. And that negative number means that it is less than 0. Okay? 0 is neither negative or positive. 0 is 0. Okay? We can use a number line to help us look at numbers and compare them. With a number line, we have 0, and anything to the left of it is going to be a negative number. Anything to the right is positive. So when we look and compare numbers on a number line, anything to the left of 0, the farther the number to the left is, the smaller it is going to be. Okay? So our number line gets larger as we go to the right. So we're going to talk about something called opposites, okay? And we'll go ahead. Opposites. Opposites are numbers that are exactly the same distance from 0, okay? So we're going to look back up here at my number line. Here we have number 1. What is the opposite of 1? Well, it's going to be the number that is equal distance from 0. So from 0 to positive 1, it's 1. So my opposite is going to be negative 1 because it is 1 unit to the left of 0. Okay, what is the opposite of a negative 3? Well, how many units is this from 0? We've got 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to go to the right 3 spots, 1, 2, 3. And the opposite of negative 3 is going to be the positive 3. So opposites are numbers that are equal distance from 0. Okay, so let's look at our example here. What is the opposite of 5? Well, our opposite of 5 is going to be negative 5. Okay, it's 5 units away from 0. Okay, what's the opposite of negative 3? Well, the opposite of negative 3, we just did, is going to be positive 3. How about let's throw in a decimal? What's the opposite of 2.3? Well, the opposite of 2.3 is going to be negative 2.3. It is the only number that is 2.3 units away from 0 in the opposite direction. Okay, so integers. We've talked about opposites. What is an integer? Now, integers is a new type of number that we're using. When we start off in school, we start with this little circle with numbers of 1, 2, 3, okay, and it continues on. Those numbers we call our counting numbers. Okay, now as we get a little bit older, we include a new number, and we think we're really important because we now use the new number 0. And we add to it, and so we add 0 to our normal counting numbers, and it continues on, and we call those whole numbers. Okay, now you're getting in middle school here, and we now add a whole new number to it. And our whole new number include everything you've learned so far, your counting numbers and your whole number with the 0. And our new number is called integers. Okay, integers are all of the whole numbers. Well, let's put it this way. It's all of our counting numbers and 0 and their opposites. Okay, so what is the opposite of the 1? Opposite of 1 is negative 1. What's the opposite of 2? It's negative 2. What's the opposite of 3? It's negative 3. Here's my 0, and there's my counting numbers, 1, 2, 3. That is what integers are. It's 0, the counting numbers, and its opposites. Okay, so we can go ahead and we can compare numbers. Remember these signs over here? This is the greater than sign and this is the less than sign. A lot of kids like to call it the alligator. This one is talking about bigger because the alligator is eating the bigger number. The best way to think about it is this looks like a squashed L. So this means it's less than. So the number that is to the left of the smallest point is smaller than the number that is to the bigger section. So less than sign is this sign right here. It looks like a squashed L, so that can help you. Okay, so let's compare some numbers. And to compare some numbers, we've got our example 10 and -1. Think of our number line here, okay? We have 0. Here's my -1. There's negative numbers. Okay, here's my positive numbers. Okay, and 10, I didn't go far enough, but let's say 10 is right here. And I am at -1 here. Remember, what did we say with our number line? The numbers to the left are smaller than the numbers to the right. So looking at this example, which sign should I use to compare? Well, I am going to use the greater than sign right in between here because 10 is larger than -1. Okay, how about -5 and -2? Ew, they both have negatives. Well, we can do the same thing here. Let's extend my sign here a minute. There's -3, -4, -5. Okay, and let's put our 2 points in. Here's my 2, -2, and here's my -5. Okay, remember the number that is farther to the left is the smaller number. So -5, even though it's a bigger number with the 5 in our thinking, because we're dealing with negatives, the larger the negative number, truly the smaller it is. So in this example, -5 is less than -2 because -2 is closer to the 0. Okay, that is all we are working with, guys, for this section here. I hope to see you at our Zoom session later on today, and if you have any questions, text or email me. Have a good day.